Hello, I'm Chris Radcliff, a software engineering manager at Blue Origin, and I'm introducing this topic, but more importantly, I'm introducing Rosa Pham, who's a software engineer at Blue. Rosa works on our customer experience software team. She develops tools that our customers use to send themselves and their stuff into space. So we're all about that. Rosa and I are both interested in exploring the rough edges of application development. People build a lot of bad software because of the tools that they have to work with, and I want to help that. If you were drawn to this because it seems like a bit of an unholy alliance between bleeding edge, low-level coding, and Fluffy Cloud's web code, you're absolutely right. We're trying to make you uncomfortable from both directions. Flight software has some hefty requirements, but there are plenty of tools that you can use every day that don't have to meet DO 178C. So you can rely more on the progress the tech industry has made here in the 21st century. So before we get to the demo, a really quick explanation of why we chose Rust and React and how they can work together. So Rust is a programming language. It's become well known for its performance, reliability, productivity. It's currently used to build desktop applications, but also web apps, network services, and it found a niche in the Internet of Things. I won't get into the more fervent arguments for Rust, but one of the claims is that Rust syntax and some of the tool chain makes certain errors impossible. It's super safe. So there's that. But like other developers at Blue, Rosa's been learning Rust as a way to experiment with performance improvements like loading and manipulating large data files. So she'll talk about that today. So React. React is a JavaScript framework that's often used for web applications, especially those that move a lot of data. Our team actually uses it in our projects because we can define UI components, both the behavior and the look and feel, and reuse those in a very consistent way. React is getting popular because a developer who's new to UIs can pull components off the shelf and compose them with a fair idea that they'll work well by default. In this case, it helps us start up the project quickly without so much setup or configuration. It won't be fancy for today, but you can find plenty of tutorials about how to get fancier with React. All right, putting it together, Tori. So Tori is a toolkit to build applications for the desktop. The hope is, I think, to include mobile application platforms in the future, but we'll concentrate on the desktop for today. There have been lots of toolkits, framework options for building desktop apps. I've certainly, busted my way around a bunch of those. But the thing is, I have a really good feeling about this one. Tori lets us build a desktop app with the React UI that can benefit from really clean components and Rust underpinnings for solid performance. That allows us to focus on the app's functionality by simplifying both of those big pieces. All right, enough of me. With that, here is Rosa with some code. So I will stop share.
Okay, I will share my screen. Let's see. Test. Okay. Chris, you see my screen? Okay.
I do.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's get started. So first day, you probably want to clone my GitHub project here. I will show you the link from my intro right here. Then in the GitHub project that you also there can see the Readme. You can follow. You can start to installing, download. Set up the environment following this Readme. So like Chris, they introduced days we using Tori as a toolkit day to like combining Rust at the back end and also React at the front end together. So we need to follow download Tori as well. So right here, I'm gonna This introduction, I think that is a good idea there to kind of like reading through what is Tari is about, some of the feature that you can check in the guides here. Some of them that I'm not really getting into it yet. I still a newbie for using Tari. Also part of it because the Tari under hood is basically just Rust. So I'm also newbie to Rust. So then that's the part of like really the part A is really hard A to to learning something new. Have to look up all the things at the same times. You can pick like whatever the platform that you're using. Like me, that is using Mac here. If you already installed Rust, that's great. If you did not, is the guide is actually also include the part A in helping you there to install Rust as well. Just making sure that you have the latest. Okay. And then one thing that is the GitHub project that is doesn't include is the data. You have to really download the data yourself. One of the reasons because the data is quite a huge file. So here is the public data NASA website. You can download here. It's also has multiple file, multiple. As you can see, that is this data containing like the collection of data from different devices that attach to like the in the flight. So is like right here is like include IMU cameras, also LiDAR sensors as well. There's multiple files there, also images as well if you want to take a look. For this demo, I actually use only 2 files. And the place that you should put it right here under source dash Tori, a new folder data, and then these are 2 files. Okay. So this data was like I said, it was collected from the flight in multiple different devices. So you can see a little bit. This one is about, I think about like 40,000 row of data. And then this one is maybe more than 70,000 row. So it's quite huge. And then, so the code is today we're gonna just the application basically just it's like a data loader. So we will reading the file and then we convert it into data. And then somehow that we can transfer it to front end and display the data. So I will go into, I'm just gonna go through like the logic of how it's work first. So this all is Rust language here. I will go through one by one, just summarize it since there's a lot of detail here. So this is main function. It will collecting all the commands. In Tori commands, basically, it's just like, like JavaScript functions. In commands, basically, just like some of the logic that you want to, to use there to run the applications. This one that I have like close / screen, basically, it's just like create kind of like a the initial screen, say hello or something like that. And then this is like the command that I actually put all the business logic, like loading data and manipulate it the way that I want to. So we can look into this one. Let's see where that is. Okay, so to read the file, you need some sort of schema. So right here we have this is the truth file, and then this is DLC file. Each of these, they have different schema. I have to create manually. Then with the schema, we were using one of the Rust module, CSV Reader. This is one of really common Rust module for reading CSV file. So you can, search on Google like how it's actually work and, different command. Like this one is new. And And then reader basically just reading the file and then convert it into some sort of like the object, like JSON object, so that Rust can understanding it. Now the rest of the code is basically just like that just loading the data. Now the problem is that these data is collected like in the different devices. We need some kind of like a Tam Tracker, which run from the starting point to end point. And then according to the current Tam value, we check if it's if it's close to, if it's really close to the current Tam value in the data file, then we display that row of data. If it does not, then we some sort of like just skip it until like it reaching the Tam. Right? It's really a little bit logic here. You really need to read to it to really know what is actually going on. But I will just summarize this for now. And then this is the part that like we actually transfer it to the front end. How it transferred to data to React. Tari is, like I said, they create a system with all of the commands, right? But basically it's just like functions. These commands can be called from the front end or by triggering the event. Like right here we have, I create an event called truth event. And then front end will listen to these event and display the data whenever it is, like front end receiving it. Now from there, I will show you how the front end looks like. If some of you that is over here already working with React, probably this look really familiar to you. We have the one single file here that is the app itself. And then somewhere there we will return some sort of like HTML. Inside this HTML, that basically it's just like some of the component that we have over here. I just using a really simple table component button, right? This is all the basic one. Now let's scroll up and then I will show you where we actually listen to the event here. So I'm using the use effect here with empty array of dependencies, would to indicate that this, whatever the code in here, that is going to be run only once when the app is just initialized. Over here today, we're going to listen to different event here. And then we, of course, we listen when it's finished. This is just the callback day to close the, the introduction screen. And then some of the callback that is just that we get, like the event or the data day from the backend. We parsing is since it's gonna be, like string in a string form, so we have to parse it to JSON. Then I'm storing it to the state. From the state, whenever the state change, then my HTML will update re-rendering. Pretty much it. You're probably asking like, oh, I see this listens and it's actually coming from Tari. Yes. So Tari is, they not only just like create all of the Rust Rust function or the way the system, they actually create a system that you can, use it like on the back end and front end, and actually they can talk to each other. Okay. I will gonna just run once now just to see how it's go. So I have two bash here. One is as running the React. So to really running it, before that running the desktop app, you actually have to build the front end first. With any, and I'm building the React front end app right now. And then from there, we can start to run with cargo run at the location source -Tory. So there we can run the desktop app. There's some warning right here, but I will talk about that later. So that is the hello world screen that is really fast, 3 seconds. I don't know if you actually see it, but you here there you see this is this is React, but it's desktop applications. That is cool. That you actually can build like the desktop app with with React front end like within what 5 minutes. That is pretty cool. So before that, I hit that button to testing out, to showing you how the data is being loaded. Just want to show you how that is. We could changing something like on the front end way. Like you're probably asking me like, hey, Rosa, is all like looking good? But who knows that you're setting this up, prior to the demo, right? But no, this is live demo. So I will, okay, let's change this to something like, click me. Here you go. And we can rebuild it. And of course, you can combine commands as well, so that you don't have to like using 2 bash, like what I'm doing right here. The word, and here you go. This is the button, and the text will change. Okay, so to try it out, if you're already familiar with React, then here's the word is to create desktop app is quite easy right now. Now I'm gonna just testing out like the backend code, the Rust code by clicking this one. So you see, this is like each of the data from the row of data from the file. And the Tam Tracker is actually, like making sure that it's like all of these kind of like matching row data, matching the same time. And you see that it freeze, right? It's the data is like, hey, Rosa, this you said that it's like 30,000 or 80,000 row of data. How come it's froze already? Right? This is really quite interesting to, it's surprising me at first as well. Let me stop that for now. So it's one way that we can explain to this is like that the Rust code has no problem, that it's the Rust part has no problem that it's running through the big file. But maybe that is React, but maybe that is like we reading the file and it's too fast for React to update and re-render every new state. So you see each file contains like more than 30,000 rows of data. And if that, then let's see, if that is the case, right? Like maybe if we slow down like Rust code a little bit, like, I mean, a little bit mean like 8 millisecond, and see if like it's actually have Rust day to, have enough time day to catching up and re-rendering the state. So let me, and then I just rerun the app one more time. So you see the warning that as I see before, we see before that is actually not anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna click on this. I will wait like about 30 seconds just to making sure that everything, like not freeze or not. Okay, it seems like it's still not freeze yet. So that probably might, I will stop this for now. So that's probably my hypothesis probably right? Somehow that is React, maybe that is still not quite, which is JavaScript, which is not quite able to, catching up, like the speed, whatever Rust, the performance that Rust that giving right here. Now, before this demo, I actually did let my computer ran through the whole files, and honestly, it still froze at some point. Like about like after maybe like 5 minutes, around like 20,000 row, it will start to freeze the same way. Also, So, and also that is I reading up online that is set time out that to, it's not really a good solution that to really try to matching the performance of two different systems here. It's actually that I can heat up the machine and drain the battery really quickly. When I run this application, every single time that is my laptop actually running, you know, I can hear it, like the fan is quite loud. So this is might be a good problem for you if you are interested to learn Rust and, you know, like try to love to solving the problem, figure it out, like understand more about the performance, Rust and React. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this, you know, like short introduction to Rust React project. Please let us know if any question or comment. And if you have solution for, you know, like this performance problem, please just, you know, reaching out to me on my GitHub.
All right, thank you very much.